Good morning to you all from Cristiano Ronaldo and the great Manchester United. It is great to be here on Daybreak Cristiano Ronaldo, and even as we open up this beautiful Monday Cristiano Ronaldo, it is so good to welcome you all in the name of Cristiano Ronaldo. I keep telling you people, I'm at the age, I don't think my heart could take another loss. Mungu amekuja na amekuwa mwema.
Yesterday?
Cristiano Ronaldo's goals.
Oh, really? Hence the agility and the power and the energy and everything.
CR7.
But they're back to number 5, remember?
They what?
Back to number 5.
It's okay. It's okay. It's temporary. Arsenal, we know you. You don't have amunya longevity.
I saw Kigituku akichokoza Manchester United, but they are forgetting that they are just 3 points off Liverpool. So you concentrate on your enemy, and your position is at risk.
But then let me tell you what, the top 4, even as we start talking about local football and introduce the panel, sorry, the top 4, it's quite interesting. No, the top 2 and number 4, let's say that. It's quite an interesting context because Pep has been known sometimes to lose to very, you know, minute teams, yes. Another chapa manu sawa. Lakini ka Kristo kabanle.
Norwich.
Ka Norwich. It's called the leveling place, the humbling factor. You never know what could happen. But
first things first.
First things first. I'm not sure how you.
Yes, I'm fine.
You well?
I'm well. Once again, I'm glad that I'm on the show. Yes. Secondly, my weekend was superb.
Yes, I saw you have been having.
Yes, other than Manchester United's win, KCB picked a win against Wazito. It was a very good win. The fact that we've not won for some time now.
In the friendlies.
No, they're not friendlies. Okay, whatever you call them. So I had a fully packaged weekend.
Yes.
Yes.
And we are so happy as well because remember we see it for the Kenya Cup, where it is we want to start. At least there's going to be a new winner. A good thing, Cabras did not fumble at the last stage. They were crowned winners, and this I think it's an amazing thing for rugby. I think any sport where the winners stop being predictable, it shows that the other people are working extra hard, and it also shows that next time the winners, perennial winners, are going to come back with a vengeance. What do you think about that, Sula?
I'm very happy because Cabra's Sugar sweet at the top. The newly minted Kenya Cup champions. And what a better way, because KCB have been thrown to the dungeons. And, that's the best we could have for this season, because you can't have a campaign where one team keep on matching all the way to the title. So first of all, kudos to Menengai Oilers for stopping KCB on their tracks at the semis. They are very solid, very good run. Remember, this is the first final Oilers were playing in, and they came inches close to bagging this title. Actually, this went down at the Bull Ring in Kakamega, and the crowd there was amazing, huge turnout. The atmosphere was just pumped up. There are a lot of excitement, and that tells you how much we love rugby at the grassroots. And remember, Cabras, actually, who've lost this title in the final so many times. Last time, they lost it again to KCB, having led all through the first half, and KCB nicking it in sudden death. Again, at the weekend, Oilers were leading, Cabras trailing all the way to halftime, but they came back stronger in the second half. The fans actually kept on chanting and urging them on. And Kubu was actually the real deal, yeah? Picking the man of the match award and scoring some good tries. He was the key man here, and rightfully so, he won the play of the match. So kudos to Cabras Sugar. They've wanted this for so long, and it's good for generally the rugby game and the competitive for Kenya Cup. So there's a lot of positives to build from this. And now with the National 7 circuit beginning in May, We are looking forward to Sepetuka 7, Princelow 7, Driftwood 7s, Dallas 7s, and what have you. So I'm hoping Cabras Sugar, we can see more from them heading into this circuit, and it's a good thing for the game. Congratulations to Cabras, congratulations to Menengai Oilers for a good fight, and of course KCB for being competitive. Finishing at the same is no mean task.
That's right.
So we are looking forward to better, and I think Gangala Uduor, the chairman of Kenya Rugby Union, actually should pick a lot of things here. Take rugby to mashinani. Western Kenya is actually the spiritual home of this game, and you can see by the number of talents who've come out of who are actually dominating the Kenyan rugby scene and the kind of crowd we see there. So there's a lot of potential in the game, which actually even the government needs to tap into. And this boils back to what I was saying last time. We need rugby stadium in this country.
Right. And Arocho, of course, we have to, when you're talking about champions, you have to talk also about well, for now in this case, the former champions of this particular cup, which is KCB. What would you think, what are the things they need to look at going forward? And also, beg your pardon, coming up when the next session of Kenya Cup comes through, it's now going to be competitive. Even Cabras people are now going to be gunning for them. Do they have the capacity to stay at the top, as it were?
Well, before I respond to your question, I'd like first of all to congratulate Cabras for the good job they've done. This is the first time in the history of rugby that two teams outside Nairobi did it in the finals. It's always been a Nairobi-based side, and this is positive, as Swil has ably put it. It's positive because when we take the game down there, we'll get more energy, we'll get more players that will come from the grassroots. So once again, congratulations. Now, coming back to your question, I think it's a challenge for KCB.
Right.
I had some talk is going on within the KCB ranks that we need to change a lot of stuff in the team. The fact that there has been some complacency in the team, I think they believe that this was going to be a kawaida season, and I think it's a wake-up call to the bank as a management, as a sponsor, to make sure that they solve the issues that are currently in the team, both in the rugby team and in the football team, because look at the fact that last year the soccer team did so well, and they were just about to clinch the league for the first time, but currently things are not well within the football ranks in the bank. But all said and done, once again, this is the beauty of sports. Look at the crowd that was there. This is Kakamega. This is where perhaps nobody was expecting a lot of excitement, but the excitement went there. So it is a call to the guys who are running the game, soccer, rugby, or any other game in Kenya, to make sure that it goes down there, because that is where the crowd is, and that's where the passion is.
Right. Speaking about that,
Arocho, why would you want to change things? Is it because you guys didn't win or what? Sammy's is good enough.
No, we are not changing.
Every season?
We are not changing. We're just adjusting. The fact that we've been winning for the last 3 or 4 seasons, and now this time around you lost in the semis, it is something that needs to be discussed. And as you said earlier, Swila, it's positive that we are having a new winner. But as the old winners, we also need to check where we went wrong, where we dropped our gun, and make sure that KCB comes up back roaring this coming season.
Right. You mentioned there's something about sponsors and people coming in. You know, it's good if you have people who will sit back and say, all right, what did you do? What happened? What can we do? What can we adjust, to use your word? And even when it comes to football, even as you, of course, talk about Cabras and the Victory Shitera, and then later on, we'll discuss the fact that there was a memo or a communique that was released that for football, if investors want to come in, there are some tax exemptions. Maybe you can talk about, of course, the Cabras and then get into football. And I know Swila has some very interesting insights on that as well.
And for your information, I come from Kabras.
Kwa hivyo ushikiki.
You're always around me.
He's always around me. Just lacking somewhere there. Success has got 1,000 fathers, remember. Failure has none.
What a coincidence. I come from Kabras, a place called Lukume, to be precise.
Good.
And it's just a stone throw away from the West Kenya Sugar Company, where Kabras emanates. But I want to say that indeed this is the beauty of sports. And even as the CS Health Mutai Kagwe lifting the protocols, it shows you that people were thirsty. You could see the numbers that attended the match. And it goes out to tell you that Kenyans love sports, and not only football, but bring something good and they will come. That is a great indicator that truly that is the direction to go. Invest in the youth, and most sports, greatest participation is drawn from the youth.
Right.
And indeed, the move that the CS Sports really is a great move that it's coming in late, but again, they say better late than never. It will attract the sponsors. It's a way of trying to tell you that let us invest together in this thing that will help the talents in the grassroots. And I would say that let it not be football alone, let it cut across, because there are so many sports. You might not be talented in all of them, like Omanyala, who was once a rugby player, now an athlete. But let us open up the field of sports to investors who will partner with the government to ensure that indeed the young people of this nation have something to take home.
So you think it's too little, too late, or will it help? What do you think about it?
Too little, too late, but again, it can add into something. You know, the problem in this country, we like having making what we call knee-jerk reactions. We wait for an episode to happen, for the government or the stakeholders to move with speed and probably implement some of these laws which have been there for long. Look at the case, for instance, of the diplomat who was indignified by the border operators.
Right.
It took that embarrassment for the government to react. So that's what I'll call a knee-jerk reaction. We all know the border menace, how it has been in the country. Guys who have been crippled, guys who have lost their lives. You go to hospitals like Kenyatta, the cases there are alarming. But the government for long turned a blind eye to this. But now, travel across borders to Rwanda and see how Kagame has streamlined that sector. Very disciplined. Even in the dead of the night, motorcyclists alone on the road, it's red, they wait there until it's green. We don't have that discipline.
Motorcycle lanes.
So, motorcycle lanes. So I think at times our politicians play a lot of PR, and to me it's embarrassing. Even if it's an election cycle, we need to streamline that sector. Not to hound innocent men and women who are struggling to put food on the table, but make sure there's order, there's discipline, and that rules are followed to the letter. Now, what Ambassador Mina Mohammed said is not something new, because she's quoting the Tax Act and what needs to be done. And in any civilized state, and again I'll borrow from Germany or the UK or everywhere, countries where sports is streamlined and there's development and the monies are being pumped in there, there has to be accountability, one. Two, corporates who are using a substantial amount of their revenues or earnings into sport in the aim of developing talents, there is this exemption that is given to them. So that's there in law. Now, what Amina is trying to do is just to ensure that is implemented. Where would have we been if this was done 30, 40 years ago? Yeah, because we have lots of corporates making billions in profits, but they don't give a dime to the sports. So I think the move is good, but it's coming too late. And I hope all the sports federations are going to comply, because I could see they're copied in that letter. And two, even the corporates like KPL or EBL that have been giving into this kitty can now say, look, Madam Waziri, in our financial statements, this the kind of profit we made, 10% went into corporate activity, and this went into developing talent. So it is good, yes, but why do we have to wait for crises before we implement these laws?
All right.
Well, personally, I think more needs to be done. That tax exemption for me is just a drop in the ocean. Why am I saying so? Look at the major corporates in this country, the major earners, if I may use that word, the way they pick the cash from our economy and it disappears elsewhere. I think there should be a cap that ensures that let's say 5 or 10% of what you get, your profit, should be channeled into sports. Because where else do you channel it? I know these corporates pay a lot of tax in their financial years, but we need to have the amount that you've made, the profit that you've made should be within our laws so that it goes into sports. I like the fact that we have the sports fund currently as a savior. But the question is, how have we streamlined the sports fund? How is it going direct to these clubs or these sports entities? Because we have the framework that raise, or how we're going to raise the money. But how it's going to be channeled into this sports institution is still lacking. And that's why you see that the sports fund is there, but how it goes down, Suela might attest to this, because look at the fact that when Harambee Stars, for example, is going for a national, international assignment, they have to literally beg for that money. I think there should be a law that just stipulates clearly how these sports associations can benefit from this fund, and it will make it not these federations, they should not be begging for it. We should know that when a national team is traveling or a club is going to represent the country, this is what is there for them, so that they can get a way of raising the deficit that comes, because the sports fund cannot really finance everything that comes with that travel.
But even as we do so, we need to put some form of attraction in the form of accountability. It has been there before, because teams like AFC Leopards, teams like Gor Mahia were funded through corporates, but I think they're shying away because once I give you some millions, can you be able to account for it? We have seen football administrators who have come out chest thumping, there is nothing we do. It's like it's their right, yes, which is not. So even as we agitate for laws to be put in place, we need to also show some discipline that if you give me some cash, this is what I will do. And we are not doing it for ourselves, we are doing it for our young people who are talented in different disciplines of sport. So accountability is key. They are not shying away because they are not capable. They are shying away because their money is not put into proper use.
Or there's no, there's no accountability. That's great. Let's take a look at some of the football. You mentioned it, of course, Rocha Local Sports, KCB picked a win against Wazito.
No, the reason why I'm laughing is Suela has not informed us of what happened in Kisumu.
Gor Mahia?
Yes, something happened.
But that's where we're heading to.
No, but you...
Actually, you can give us clip, Matthew, back to back, then we'll take it over.
Okay.
So we play the clips?
Yeah. Let's
take a look at some of the clips of the KPL rap, if we have that, and then we'll talk about how even Kogalo were arrested.
In Kisumu.
In Kisumu State. Do we have it? All right. Okay, so we're going to be showing them, I think, there we go.
Kwanza kwa game ya leo, naweza sema it was not such an easy game. Kwanza after tume lose games mbili zikifuatana, so to me naweza sema hii game ina serve kama a moral booster kwa timu yangu.
Kiwa the team will travel with the referee from Kawangware to here, inakuwa so embarrassing. That's not football for them to recover. but si tumeappreciate na vijana tuangalie juu. On Thursday we have your game, we have to fight.
Ukiangalia wachezaji wangu wenyewe tumekuwa tunaonana, especially pale kwa midfield Duncan, Suita wamecheza mechi nzuri sana. Alafu pia Kachi bana, Kahata amenichezea game ile mazee, nakumbuka tu kitambo bana wakati alikuwa Gor Mahia.
We have a team which we are restructuring it with many youth players, so we don't have to expect to win every match.
Yaro Soja claims that waliwawachia tu. that they were defeated. Sosula, wapu?
Report.
No, that's football. It's nature of the game. And I said it, by the way. This season is not Gor Mahia's. We see they have a lot of issues to address, and you can see it. You know that the technical bench is so, the technical team is so poor. But look at even the way they are conceding. Look at how does a goalkeeper give away such a goal that Kahata scored, right? So to me, that's lack of discipline, because if you go on the pitch, you might have to fight to defend the club's emblem. So how do you probably blame coach for such a goal? But again, away from that, I think Gor have a lot of issues which they have to address. Last 2 weeks ago, you saw what transpired at Kasarani. Right now, they've been sanctioned by Sports Kenya, so they can't use Kasarani at Nyayo Stadium. Of course, they've filed an appeal. We are waiting to see how it goes. But Rachir has a lot to address. And if there is a season that the Kenyan Premier League title is actually up for grabs, it has to be this season. Many of us had tipped Kakamega Homeboyz to go all the way, but we saw them drop points in Mombasa. Anthony Modo, who took over, replacing Kasambongo, is actually reigniting Bandari's wheel. So whether Homeboyz can take this lacuna, so to speak, to go all the way and bag the title is anyone's guess. But as Bandari showed, it won't be easy for them.
It won't be easy. And of course, even as we talk about the game in Gor, maybe you can also continue to highlight what happened against KCB. Aroche is very happy today. But again, like Sula said, it looks like the title, you know, is sort of up for grabs. How do you see it playing out?
Again, you will say 1,000 what?
1,000 winners.
Yeah, again, I'll be happy if it heads
Kakamega.
Your home area.
My home area. And again, just as we saw in the rugby, we also need to have a new face, you see. Gor Mahia has dominated this KPL for some time now. The FC Leopards... 13, 14? Yeah, some time now. 14, no, around 17. 17. Because FC Leopards is stuck at 13. And indeed, it's good because the likes of FC Leopards, Ulinzi Stars, who we thought would give Gor Mahia a run for their money, have collapsed along the way. And I'm happy to see such young, energetic faces like Kakamega Homeboyz really putting their best foot forward to try and reclinch or clinch the trophy from Gor Mahia. And it just gives the so-called KPL some form of competition, because when Gor Mahia dominated, every season you wake up and just crown Gor Mahia. At some point, they were crowned when the league was not complete. And I raised questions because the EPL resumed and Liverpool won. But how was Gor Mahia crowned? It's because they had created that notion that we are the winners. And clearly, to collect a point from Mombasa, it's an uphill task. I think they showed by at least not going down with a clean sheet to Bandari. But again, this again shows to you what Anthony Kimani is made of. When he took over from, when he took the leadership of FC Leopards, we saw he put in some good run of positive results until he was fired by the management led by Dan Shikanda. I raised questions. But again, he's a local coach. He's performing just like Kimanzi, and I believe it's time we supported our local talent at the coaching level and at the playing level.
Is he Leopards Arteta?
Sorry?
Is he Leopards Arteta?
Yes.
He's young. He's a former captain.
He's a former captain, energetic.
And, he's a legend.
Yeah, he's a legend.
I'm a legend.
Well,
but anyway,
I'll pick the results, and perhaps if I can have it on the screen. One.
Yes.
For me, the main shocker was Homeboys losing to Bandari. Homeboys have been having a very good run. I think this is the second time they've lost this season. They've had a very good run, and it's for them to lose. It's for Kakamega Homeboys to lose this league. Bandari, since Kimani came in, good job that Kimani has done at Bandari. He's settled the boys. He brought him his namesake Kimani in the midfield, and you can see.
Actually, he scored.
Yes, he scored a goal. Yeah, he scored the first goal against Homeboys over the weekend. The first match, he picked a draw against Gor Mahia in Mombasa. He came to Nairobi, picked another draw against FC Leopards. He picked a win against Talanta, and now he's picked another win against the team that is most likely going to win this league. I'm seeing Homeboys winning the league because KCB have really, we've picked several draws that have really disadvantaged the team. Yes, we picked a win against Wazito over this weekend. On Tuesday, we are playing against Tusker. I'm expecting a win. No, but it's the truth. The team has now picked.
But you know, KCB have been pace setters. I keep saying this.
No. After last season, you called us pace setters. But we almost. But if it were not for Nick Mwendo, I'm sorry.
But if you don't, there is nothing called almost.
No, but
either win or lose.
The fact that we were given the 30th of November as the time to send the winner from Kenya, and yet other countries sent their winners.
But you should have proved him wrong.
Okay. I was analyzing that win. There are two teams that I'm sure of.
Right.
That is FC Leopards. I'm sure of FC Leopards and Gor Mahia. That is KCB. The first leg, Gor Mahia won. Sorry?
You are sure of them?
My points.
Winning.
Those are my points. Okay. The kind of Gor Mahia I
How
saw.
many points? 1 point?
12. 6 points from Gor Mahia and 6 points from FC Leopards. But the kind of game I saw Gor Mahia playing, I think Samuel Molo Pamzo
his confidence
also did himself proud. Kudos to Samuel Molo. The way Gor Mahia sacked Samuel Molo.
But, okay.
And the way, this was his first match at Police.
Yes.
The Police that played against KCB, before they sacked the coach, I don't want to use, there's a name I don't want to use against that foreign coach who was at Police, but I beg to be forgiven. The only way that Kenyan football will move is when we believe in our own. Look at Samuel Molo. He moves from Gor Mahia to Police. Within few days, you can see the kind of results that they've posted. I'm seeing Swela itching. But there was no way Gor was going to beat Police. There was no way.
They were arrested.
Yeah, they were, and someone has just texted me and told me that it was Serikal versus Serikal.
Serikal.
Yes, the Serikal derby.
Police is another team to watch. The kind of technical bench that is at Police now with Sami Pamzo, Molo, and Musa Otieno, those are very experienced side. But just to finish my point on this, I think we are seeing a revolution in Kenyan football as far as winners is concerned. I'm giving Homeboys my dollar to win this league. Tusker, they've been on and off, switching on and off, and I don't think that will help them. Though the experience at Tusker, you look at the fact that Tusker, they have moved from position 8 and now they're at position 2. And if in any case, Homeboys are going to lose another point, then Tusker will move in.
Quick points for me. Police, maybe, they are discipline force, but the circumstances under which the $6 million man, John Bobby Ogola, has left that team. I don't know if they're still part of it. To me, it's not the best. Bobby brought this team from Division 2, National Super League. But now there has been a lot of mystery surrounding this technical bench. And the revolving door of coaches, I don't think that's the best way through which they're going to build that club. No qualms. Pamzo is my good friend. Muso Tieno, a legend through and through. You can't take anything away from them. Kudos to them for landing that job. But if you are going to shove away the $6 million man for no strong or apparent reason, I don't think police are going to get it right. There has been a lot of mystery surrounding that technical bench. Last time he raised about the Caucasian coach. There's a time Jacob Ghost-Mulee had been brought in. So in my view, even as at now, yes, they have ambition, they could have the money, but police clearly have no master plan or strategy of how they want to drive this forward. That's why they're running everywhere.
Right.
Signing everywhere.
Yeah, that's gonna backfire on them. Two, my concern is...
So running everywhere would not be a strategy?
I don't think they really know what they want. They don't know for now. For now, they don't know.
Okay.
They're trying everything at the same time, hoping that they get it right.
Right.
Two, Mathare United. People are forgetting. This is an institution.
Gone.
Mathare actually built nearly every coach now you are seeing in the top tier. Last time, they survived relegation by a whisker, and I see them again still struggling. Good players are running out. Actually, this time it's Danson Kago who's been carrying the team. From midfield position, he scored 5 or 6 goals, but he can only do so much. I fear if Mathare or Bob Munro don't get it right, when they are relegated to the second tier, I don't think we'll see Mathare coming back. So probably an empire is collapsing. We don't know whether they'll be able to rebuild.
They'll most likely go to court. Mathare, they'll not survive the relegation this side, but the fact that, as you've referred to the league to be friendlies, I'm predicting that the fact that this league is not perhaps recognized elsewhere, they might go to court, and this might be a reason why Mathare can survive.
So that
but why would they know? That's not constant, because if we are maybe half-term through this, if Amina and the hierarchies at Zurich reaches a consensus, then it means by the time the league is ending, we could have representatives in the continental assignment. So it's a double-edged sword. You can't really say, I'm going to rely on this. So depending on how the government play their cards with FIFA, we could have representation at the end of the term. But that they are playing very dangerous cards, which might not work for them.
Yeah, it might not be easy picking for them, but we'll continue watching as is the case. We want to go now and talk. So stand with our brother Stephen Shitana, who doesn't know if he has a team or not anymore.
We have a team.
I mean, okay, you know, but that's the thing, you see, what I do, I'll say this, what I admire with Chelsea and even the interview I watched of Thomas Tuchel and the players he seemed, that's why I think if we believe in divinity, although tunasemaga tusumbue Mungu, you can say Thomas Tuchel was brought to Chelsea for such a time as this. Because if you had a nondescript leader who could do with some form of rudimentary thinking, Mungu kwa muko inja kabisa. But the troubles of Roman Abramovich, termed in some quarters and some media circles as a Russian oligarch, directly linked to Vladimir Putin. Sanctions have been put against him, his financial capabilities, his earnings, his trust, his properties, his bank accounts, same to those of Chelsea, putting caps on even how much can be spent, making it difficult even to fuel for the top management. There, we have a profile of him over there. But before we look at it, and as of course Suila will walk us through it, Shitara, what do you think about the ongoings at Chelsea? And remember, I've seen articles of players trying to renegotiate their contracts. Players and agents, I guarantee, will try to take advantage of this
I think...
And you're facing Lille, and you are the champion. You're the current champion. We are the defending champions.
And I believe the English press, as it has always been, will try to push that narrative, but totally nothing wrong. The players themselves promise that we are willing to go without a pay just to ensure that we keep our team afloat. So you can get a comment or two from a a player who would have wanted to leave anyway and then paint the picture that is the whole team. That's not true.
I read about Omshambulis.
Omshambulis is not comfortable at Chelsea.
Yes.
Maybe he's the one who gave that comment.
Yes.
And with or without the sanctions, Omshambulis will have sought his way out.
For those who don't know, Omshambulis is Lukaku.
So those comments are not connected to what is going on at Chelsea at the moment.
Right.
But again, I will also want to say that it is really a sad state of affair, indeed, for such actions, because I will walk you through. I doubt if it is anything to do with what is going on currently. And we condemn what is going on in Ukraine, because I would say it's not a war. A war is when you have someone offering the same resistance. But Ukraine is not at war with Russia. I would say that it's an invasion and not a war. But again, you cannot bring again the same state to wage a war or an invasion to a football club that is miles away from that country. A Chelsea Football Club is in England. I believe it has employed over 2,000 British nationals. So I doubt that what is going on at Chelsea, it might have some loose connections with what is going on currently. But the war between the UK government and Abramovich started way back in 2018 when his visa was cancelled. There was no war in Ukraine. And I would say that it's just a trigger or an excuse that you will want to use to ensure that indeed this guy who has revolutionized football in England, we have indeed kicked him out. Abramovich, for the 20 years he has been at Chelsea, has won 19 trophies, a record that is only held by Chelsea. No other team has won 19 trophies in 20 years, since 2002. And you can go to your records.
Which other trophies?
You can. He has won.
The small.
Okay. Let me clarify, because you want me to come to that point. Which trophy that is on offer in the English or European football, club football, even the world, that Chelsea has not won? He has won everything on offer.
Give it to them. Give it to them.
And I want you to challenge. He has held that record 20 years at the helm, 19 trophies. Which other team has won 19 trophies?
No, what you mean is Chelsea has won 19 trophies.
In 20 years.
In 20
out of the... No, what
20 seasons, okay, yeah, give it 20 seasons.
The trophies
which a season is a year.
The trophies that Chelsea has won. Even the Kotbiro within their tournament.
No, okay, let me come in.
Let me come in.
Before you support me, let me tell you. The highest trophy in European football, in club football, is the Champions League.
Actually,
Chelsea has
how many?
won.
Value-wise, money-wise, is the Premier.
How many?
Okay, Chelsea has won it twice for the last 20 years.
Okay.
Chelsea has won the Europa Cup twice.
Okay. Those are 4.
Chelsea has won the Super Cup.
Okay.
Chelsea has won the World Club Cup.
Okay.
Chelsea has won 5 Premier League titles. It has won FA titles.
Okay.
It has won the Community Shield.
That's where I was going.
It has won...
How many Community Shields?
It has, I think there are 2 or 3.
Okay.
It has won the Carling Cup, which Manchester City won. Liverpool won the other day. It has won, yeah, all the trophies that you could name.
Okay.
Anyway, give it.
And in 20 years,
I've given you.
In 20 years, because I know Manchester United has won all the trophies.
Thank you very much.
I have put it.
Okay.
The last 20 seasons or 20 years, no other team has won 19 trophies.
Raburu,
yes.
Give it to the Roman Empire. What is done, you can't take away from him. Because since he took leadership of the club in 2 or 3, as Shtera rightfully put it, they've won 20 titles or 19 titles in 20 seasons. That's no mean feat. 2 Champions League titles is not easy. My Arsenal have been trying this with no success.
Thank you.
And maybe a glimpse into his profile, if we can have that on the screen, is that Roman actually, why this trouble is because the UK or the Western authorities believe he's a close associate of Putin, who has invaded Ukraine. As you can see there, this is somebody who was born in 1966. He's a pretty young lad. He's been married thrice, divorcing in 3 occasions. He actually has military training, army service initially. He's a businessman, as we all know. He's also served as a governor in Russia, actually. That was when he was about 33 years, so he's an early achiever. Became Chelsea owner in 2003, as Chitera says. When this began, actually, he announced he was handing over the stewardship of the club. But before he could do this, actually the UK government sanctioned him. He put the club on sale, but right now with the sanction, he can't even sell the club. His businesses, his assets in the larger UK have been frozen, meaning he can't do any business. As things stand, Chelsea can't sign players. They can't sell players. That means we don't know how long this might go. But if it rolls into the summer,
up to the end of the season.
Yeah, if it rolls up to the summer, it means players like the German defender whose contracts are running will leave the club as free agents. And this, if it persists, maybe we could see Chelsea turn to their youth teams to bring in new players into the club. The danger with this, it could demotivate the players. As things stand now, you can see they are really fighting for the club and to show that even with the situation, we can continue defending the club. But they can't go too long. It will wear them out. And Thomas Tuchel was saying in the press conference, every time he has to field questions regarding the off-the-pitch matters, regarding the war and Roman's ownership and what have you. So that's a very precarious position for the club. Remember, the UK government, again, have put their cap spending on match day at £500,000. That's 500,000 sterling pounds. Ordinarily, on a match day, Chelsea averagely spends 1 million. So that means they are in a deficit of £500,000. And Tuchel said he doesn't care. If he can get the buses fueled, they are going to drive, even if it means the player getting behind the wheel, just to get the stadium. Right now, their title, the shirt sponsor 3, which is our mobile tech firm, have said now, don't have our brand on those logos.
It's British.
And Tuchel said, we are willing to play even without a shirt sponsor, but we are going to defend the club. So it's a scenario that can't roll on for far too long. So I hope an amicable solution can be found, because this is a business and we are looking at the careers of these players. Now, one man I want to hail in all this is one Professor Arsene Wenger. Remember at one point, Usmanov, also a Russian, was very close to buying Arsenal, a majority shareholder. But it's a Wenger who actually changed the matrix. Right now, had it not been for Wenger, Arsenal would have been the same situation. Because Usmanov, again, is closely linked to Putin. So he's so far.
Even with the sanctions, Arsenal is in our situation.
What do you mean our situation?
No, I'd like to differ.
After that, and even as Rocho, there is also another thing that is our beloved FIFA is also opening it up.
That is where I'm going.
It's opening up to a lot of, because even the Kenyan case can be...
It was a government interference.
It's a government interference. It's precedent.
I want to go on record that, first of all, I castigate the current happenings in Ukraine. I don't support war. But look at the flip side. Look at the flip side. FIFA is not being honest in this kind of in this situation. The fact that FIFA came out and first of all kicked Russia out of the football family, for me is just hypocrisy. Why am I talking about hypocrisy? Look at the fact that UK is interfering with football. In Chelsea, they're interfering with the runnings of Chelsea, and you've not heard FIFA saying anything.
But Chelsea is not a national team.
No. I'm not talking about the national team. They're interfering with the running of the game.
You see, Chelsea...
Wait.
No, you see...
I've not finished.
The argument you're making, Chelsea, first of all, is a private club.
No problem.
Yeah?
I take that. But they are members.
And again,
they are members of the federation.
The FA, right?
Yes.
But who are saying here, these are two different things altogether. Because look here. Roman is being sanctioned not because of Chelsea FC, but because of his alleged close association.
No. Remember what Shitera Ali said. Wait.
And that's why, listen,
said what?
If Roman actually, even if it was, if Roman didn't own Chelsea, Chelsea wouldn't have been having problems.
Shitera said it very well that the sanctioning of Roman started way before this war.
In 2018.
Yes, so it has nothing to do with this war.
He's living in
now, just to add on to what I'm saying, there are several countries I'm not going to mention that have invaded other countries.
Correct.
Did you hear FIFA talk?
But this has been world over. World Athletics have sanctioned.
You're not understanding what I'm saying. I just want to take you back. Several countries, I don't want to mention these countries, have invaded other countries. Did you hear FIFA sanctioning them? They've never been sanctioned. Let's not try to justify the mess that is currently there. If FIFA is sanctioning a country simply because of invading another country, then let's sanction everyone. You understand?
Because there is invasion all over.
Yes, all over the world.
An issue if these were the 3 lions who are being put to task by FIFA.
But look, these are two different scenarios. Even look, Arocho, look at the sponsors who are very fast to pull out.
They're British.
They are British. There are other sponsors like Nike who are still on board. It tells you that this is a well choreographed.
Yes, it's no longer the war.
It's no longer the war. I've told you that Abramovich's visa was cancelled in 2018 and he was kicked out of the United Kingdom.
That's true. He's had issues with the UK authorities. That's true.
It's no longer about.
It's no longer.
So the football I'm talking about, Abramovich doesn't play football. Football has employed British players like Chris James, Mason Mount. All these are benefiting from an English club.
Yes, and to add salt to injury, Abramovich said way early that, guys, I'm leaving the club. I'm selling this club. And in fact, the profit that I'm going to get out of the sale, I'm not going to have it. I'm going to pump it to try and console the guys in Ukraine. But all said and done,
they moved fast to sanction him.
Let's keep politics out of the
I would have bought that, Arocho, but you see, if it was only Roman who was being sanctioned over his alleged association with Putin, I would have questioned that. But we have so many oligarchs around Putin who are all feeling this hit. So if it was an isolated case, I would have bought that.
But Romans sanctioning started way before
2018.
Yes, he's had issues with the UK authorities.
Yes. So let us deal with that.
But what I'm saying, you can't really cite FIFA and say FIFA are biased in this regard.
They are.
If it were the 3 lions, why did FIFA come out initially? FIFA came out and said so well that Russia, we are keeping them off the football family.
Yes. Even in the World Cup qualifiers, they're out of it.
That is well taken. Yes. But I've asked you a very good, simple question. You've not answered me. There are several countries that have invaded other countries.
Are you going to say Kenya and Somalia, for instance?
No.
Because we've also invaded
US have been invading several countries. And in fact, even the World Cup was played in US. Guys, let's just wake up and call something that is wrong, let's call it wrong. Let's not try and sugarcoat it because somebody somewhere is a superpower.
No, Chelsea should have their way, but about Roman sanctions.